Salve, salve rapaziada, tudo bem com vocês? Estamos de volta aí com mais um vídeo. Vamos continuar aqui a gameplay. Tiroteio na serraria, se eu não me engano. Se você é novo no canal, mano, já se inscreve, já deixa o like pra dar aquela fortalecida.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Mano, o diálogo é muito bom, velho. Se fosse dublado, ia ser muito bom.
They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. First, I need to tell you about the cowboy's new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Arma flamejante, atirador. Recarregue mais rápido o rifle. Putz. Aqui eu ganho mais experiência, né? Que é bom pra subir de nível. Vou nesse aqui, vai. O maluco bem aqui.
Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's death. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother Virgil. As the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's
Mano, é
what they
muita
thought
bala,
I
velho.
was.
Eu que só tenho 10 balas. Ah, vou na pistola agora, hein. Meu Deus. Onde? Aonde? Aonde? Merda, merda. Caraca, mano. O maluco tava ali de trás, velho. Eu passei direto. Tomar cuidado.
There were killers around every corner, all
Apareceu
wearing
maluco ali.
red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself.
É muito difícil pegar os caras na corrida, velho.
But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk
Mas
away
dá pra pegar.
unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
Tenho 20 balas.
Hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap. That Lunger should have kept his
Dá pra
nose out
trocar.
of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Merda, merda.
Maybe so, but Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being
rapaz,
loyal
tomou.
to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal. Well, to get to that
maluco bem
loyal
aqui.
friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Mano, o gráfico é muito bonito. Que coisa linda esse jogo. Olha aqui o banheiro.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't
Mano,
his
os
son
caras
take over
apareceram
the
na
Cowboys?
trairagem, velho. Do nada.
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
Opa. Pega uma muniçãozinha aqui. Vá até o depósito de madeira e encontre Curly Bill. Depósito de madeira.
Where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
Eita, puta.
Though it wasn't easy, those boys had good cover.
Caraca. Cadê? Dá uma recarregada boa aqui. Vê de que lado eles vão aparecer aqui. Eita. Tiro dali de trás.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind.
Caraca.
That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
Pegar a munição aqui.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience.
Munição.
I'm painting a picture here.
Mano, se bem que
There was this beautiful waterfall.
espingarda de cano cerrado, eu acho,
Crystal
sei lá, eu
clear
acho que não é boa ideia
stream
não.
that led to a verdant valley that was truly,
Consider your picture
Tá com as
painted.
pistolas
What
mesmo.
happened next?
well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Mano, aqui vai dar ruim.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Beleza. Olha só. Tomar uma dose antes de tomar chumbo. Curly Bill. Caraca. Vai até o depósito.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Au. Tá, beleza. Já vi que... Vou tentar pegar ele. Vou com a pistola, mano. A pistola dá muito mais tiro. Quase peguei ele, velho. Merda, merda. Ai, ai. É, não dá pra bater de frente com ele. É, não dá, mano.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Quase. Tá, falta pouco.
Brocious gave me no
Matei.
choice but to take his life. But Ringo
Mas
was
o Ringo
nowhere to be found.
tava em um lugar também.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found
Já
dead in
sabia
a
que
different
não
location
despacho de onde
altogether.
Ringo, porque ele
To this
foi.
day, his killer
Até
is
hoje
still
ninguém sabe
unknown.
quem matou ele.
Indeed. Took me a few
Eu
months
levei alguns
before I finally
meses
tracked
até
his
finalmente
ass to West
encontrar
Turkey
ele
Creek
em
Canyon.
West Turkey. Beleza. Olha aí. Próximo no comando e na cova, Johnny Ringo. Caraca, que bigode, hein? Mano, da hora.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Ah,
Sorry I
desonrado.
had to
Mano.
ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Eu achei que eu fui muito rápido, mano. Eu achei que o cara ia, poxa. Mas tá valendo, tá valendo.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly
Recebi
Bill,
uma boa grana
and
pelo Ringo
realized there
e
was
Curly
real
Bill.
money to be made. That's why I went after Henry
E
Plummer.
atrás de Henry Plummer. Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking
Cara,
down
que da hora a
miners and
animação,
robbing
velho.
gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
Os
So it's true that you
inocentes.
went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Ó. Mano, as cutscenes é muito da hora. O Magnificente. Magnificente, né? Magnificente não, é Magnificente. Nomezinho só um pouquinho complicado de pronunciar. Mas tá valendo, tá valendo.
I knew I needed resources
Começamos
if
com a
I was going
pistola.
to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Mas
And hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the
Pô, tentei
band
acertar o
and
pássaro
put a
ali,
generous
mas
price on his head.
vou botar um objetivo aqui, vou mudar também. Pera aí, controles. E no Z. Vou botar no Tab. No Tab e na...
Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
O gráfico tá muito bonito, velho. Olha só isso. Tem vagabundo ali já.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made man. Samuel Colt made it.
Só que tinha vários. Ué, tem um caminho aqui. Ó, tem. Você tem uma pepita. Um chapéu aqui. Ah, da hora. Colecionáveis, né, do jogo. É, no momento, velho, no momento eu vou ficar com uma carabina. Vai dar pra escalar. Perfil. Beleza, já liberou aqui. Mira estável, isso que é bom. Recarrega o rifle mais rápido, que é bom também. O nível 6 já, boa. Eu acho que não tem nada não, velho. Ah, tem um negócio aqui. Sei lá, mano.
I knew that
Olha
dynamite
aí.
wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it.
Já tenho, né? Tenho 5 dinamites.
It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves, killers, robbing travelers, and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith.
Charlie Cole, ferreiro.
James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Ordinary citizens who
Nossa,
lived
que
a
tiro
double
lindo, hein?
life, stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors.
Tô indo aqui só pra lascar lá. Eita, agora que vai ter treta, hein? Tá com cara de quem vai.
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers killed on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. Hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. I was outnumbered and in way over my head. I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize. They must have thought I was touched. Or had some kind of death wish. Seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere.
Ah, mete a cara aí.
One stray bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. Did I have any second thoughts about what I was doing? No.
Toma, maluco.
I thought I was some kind of hero.
Ah, o objetivo é pra cá.
I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that
Tive
mine.
alguma ideia de como
Once I
entrar
made my
naquela
decision,
mina, mas
I
assim
knew there was
que
no
tomei
turning
minha
back.
decisão,
So
sabia
my
que...
first thought was to
Então
enter
minha
the
primeira
nearest
ideia
mine
foi
portal. I saw an
usar a
entrance.
entrada mais próxima.
Made sense.
Ah, tá.
It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Caraca. O maluco ali.
Besides, Once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it.
Corredores confusos.
Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Merda, gastei a
Quick
dor.
reflexes often make up for lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked.
Ah, cara, morri na armadilha, velho.
I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
Nossa, essa foi muito boa, hein?
With all that gunpowder, a body has to know what he's
Ah,
shooting.
entendi. Não posso atirar.
All it takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
Só preciso de uma fagulha, beleza. Não posso acertar.
As a boy, I always loved the 4th of July.
Pô, mano, aí foi complicado, velho, porque
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad blasted.
ela ferrou.
I freely admit my plan is not just responsible, but clearly.
Caraca. Tá bom.
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even
Ah,
tried.
tem que abandonar aquele plano ridículo, não sei o que, não sei o que.
Instead, I spotted a ladder way into the mine from the
Ah,
opposite
tá.
side.
Então era proposital eu morrer ali.
It was a long way around, but that approach
Ah,
seemed more
é um
sensible
caminho mais
at the time.
longo, mas
Of course, being I had a problem with
é o caminho
heights,
certo. Por que a gente
that
não veio por aqui
scaffolding
então
scared
primeiro?
the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man
Reflexos de
can dodge a
jovem.
damn bullet while climbing down a rickety
Ah, tá.
ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith. I was determined not to give up. That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character.
É, mas a gente até conseguiu, né?
When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was doing, people were outraged. The 10,000 they put
Toma.
on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
Ah, tá. Preciso chegar lá em cima, beleza.
I wanted to use the element of surprise.
Queria usar o
Plus, I
elemento
figured I could use
surpresa.
the
Além disso, um pouco de
I was
exercício.
warmed up already, so what the hell?
Eu já tava aquecido, blá blá blá. Elemento surpresa. Tá. Meu elemento surpresa não deu muito certo, não. O que seria elemento surpresa? É o F?
Was a mad dog killer, and the people of
Yeah,
Nevada City deserve better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Right, well, he was a sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. Point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Ué. Ah, não. Ah, velho. Na moral, caí. Morri. Meu irmão, tá parecendo um ringue. Homem da lei, fora da lei. Ah, Henry Plugman, vigarista. Caraca, o maluco é da...
Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that it takes him to it.
Cadê esse babaca? Esse cara vai ser difícil, hein? Ah, ele vai jogar granada. merda, merda, merda. Pronto. Harry Plug. Toma, seu. Cara, é difícil, velho. Precisão, não foi muito preciso, né? Mas tá valendo.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
No reason.
Ringo was fast.
Ninguém era rápido, mas John Wesley era mais... era mais pé de acho. Ah, muito bom, né? John Wesley.
Hell, he killed his
Ele
first
matou seu
man at
primeiro homem
15.
aos 15 anos.
From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't
Daquele
back
dia em
down
diante
for
ofereceu a
nobody,
recompensa
not
para
even
ele,
Wild Bill
nem
Hickok
mesmo
himself.
para o próprio Will Bill Hickok. Seja rápido ou seja morto. Vamos lá. Desbloqueie e manejo duplo. Eu acho que eu subi de habilidade. Ganhei alguma habilidade. Au. Mira estável. Dedos rápidos. Aumente a velocidade de tiro.
I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
Dá pra carregar mais rápido. Cara, tem um maluco por ali.
I thought the Texas Rangers got Hardin.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres.
Onde é que é o objetivo? Pra cá.
To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me.
Caraca, vai dar ruim aqui, hein?
I'm jumping the gun here.
Tô colocando a carroça na frente dos bois. Deixa eu voltar e contar um pouco da história desse desgraçado. Ele merece, não acha bem?
John Wesley Hardin was a
Encontre
killer.
Hardin. Mais cedo naquela noite, nas proximidades de Abilene.
Fathers and husbands,
Vamos ver o que vai
brothers and
acontecer.
sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by then.
Tem gado
He had
aqui.
amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them. They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. Most of them were wanted as well. Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. And that was easier said than done, as most of them were as foolish and full of bravado as I was. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head.
Vou trocar de...
Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
Onde é que é o objetivo? Tô escutando barulho de passos. Nossa, pô. Cadê os caras?
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit
O objetivo é pra cá, eu já achei que é ali pra baixo. Se bem que talvez dê pra...
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cobbler of hired killer. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption. John Wesley was a different story. I didn't learn until later that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Tem uns 7 balas só. Nossa, mano.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
Aí, agora tô... Ah, tô sem munição pra... Até que tô com bastante...
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Merda. Ah, vou tentar matar a metade por aqui.
A certain hostility.
Caraca, será que eu achei um bug no jogo aqui? Eu consigo matar os inimigos do lado de fora. Ah, por isso, vamos entrar, vamos entrar.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived. As a moment later, I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
Consegui matar os malucos pelo lado de fora, mano. Ah, agora sim chegou os miseráveis. Começou a matança aos 15, matou por Johnny Wesley Hard.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline.
Tá.
Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks.
Eu vou tentar ir na
I knew
honra,
I'd
vai.
need my own if I was ever to defeat him. No, wait! He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Tá, eu acho que quando o coração começar a bater é a hora certa de puxar, eu acho. É, o maluco tá parado, né? Aperte A e D para esquivar. Aperte espaço.
That man was faster than grease lightning. But
Homem
being
era rápido,
inebriated
mas
as it
bêbado
was,
de
it
jeito que
didn't count
tava,
his shots.
não
And
conta as
now,
balas.
he
Agora
was at
tava
my mercy.
à minha mercê.
So he didn't die?
Então ele
No,
morreu?
I sent him to prison.
Não, eu mandei ele
Years
pra
later,
prisão.
after he was free,
Só
some
que
restless
anos mais
avenger
tarde,
took his
depois de
life.
ser
Shot
libertado.
him in the back in a saloon, just like this one.
What the fuck?
Anybody up for another beer? Ben?
Beleza, né? Beleza.
Thank you, darling.
Obrigado, minha querida.
Yeah, some say
E alguns dizem
revenge
que
is
a
a dish
vingança é
best
prato
served
que se
cold.
come frio.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Episódio 5. Grey
Yes,
Wolf.
I did, Ben. I remember once I was after
Sila
this
já
renegade Apache,
enfrentei
Grey
sim.
Wolf.
Eu lembro.
Strangely enough,
Por mais
revenge
estranho
was
que
also his
pareça, a vingança
primary
era o
motivation.
que motivava ele. Caraca. Isso é sinistro, velho. Dança com os renegados. Referência aí à dança com os lobos, eu acho. Olha aí. Lobichos. Dança com os renegados. O pressentimento não iria salvar. Os pistoleiros contemporâneos mais rápidos conseguem sacar e atirar em menos e meio de um segundo. Procure pelas pepitas da verdade. Elas ajudam você a conhecer melhor a história do Velho Oeste. Um ataque corpo a corpo adicionado por F pode salvar sua vida se ficar cara a cara com... Tá, beleza.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's
Uma
head.
recompensa foi
That's
oferecida
how I
pela
came to
cabeça do
hunt
lobo
in the mountains.
cinzento. E foi assim
Mountains
que
so high they
as
tickled the
montanhas
nether regions
tão
of
altas
heaven.
que... Há muito tempo nas montanhas
Grey Wolf
muito
was a
distantes.
Chiricahua Apache medicine man
Cara,
who
olha
had
esse
led a
gráfico,
war
velho.
party in revenge for a massacre
Olha o
against his
gráfico desse
people.
jogo, mano.
The
Que
U.S.
da hora.
Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
Muito, muito maneiro. O gráfico desse jogo é sensacional, mano. Tô sem ar. Eita.
Right from the beginning, I
Desde
couldn't
o
shake the
começo eu
feeling that
sentia
Grey
o lobo
Wolf was
cinzento
watching
observando
my
cada
every
passo
move.
que eu dava.
He led a band of young Apache warriors
essa era
who
esse
wanted
gráfico.
retribution and were more
Coisa
than willing to
bonita,
die
mano.
for him. They saw me before I saw them.
Caraca, eu tava me distraindo ali com a...
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Espingarda.
rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated.
Mano, os caras estão de carabina também, velho. Caraca.
I admit to having some regrets about going after them. Then again, I got
Tem uns caras que tá de carabina, outros tá de 12. Doideira, parece que eu tô escutando barulho de cavalo. Que cachoeira bonita, velho.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
not at that moment.
Subi de nível. De nada.
Deep crevice that led to a deep cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
Caraca, essa parte aqui, velho. Olha só, mano. Que da hora. Nossa, eu já ia cair no buraco ali achando que...
See, back then,
É,
I had a
realmente, mano.
stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit. They had torches on the walls.
Subir de nível. Ah, não, isso aqui é pra pistola, mano. Rápido no gatilho.
Was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben.
Você achou que eu não ia te ver aqui, só?
Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian War.
Mano, esses caras estão com muita sorte, na
They
moral.
thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Nossa, matei um monte, hein?
So much about engines.
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters.
Caraca.
Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Vasculhe as
I had to get out
cavernas
of
e
there.
encontre o lobo
Those girls
cinzento.
never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Ah, tá. Mais um colecionávelzinho aqui. Mano, se você é novo no canal, mano, caiu de paraquedas, mano, se inscreve no canal, deixa aquele like pra dar aquela fortalecida. Conteúdo de gameplay é foda. Gameplay de jogos, né? Claro, né? Live, trocando ideia com a galera sempre aqui no canal. Então se inscreva, deixa o like pra dar aquela fortalecida. Eu ficaria muito agradecido. Muito obrigado. Tá, tem munição ali. É o seguinte, mano. Pelo jeito... Tá. Cheguei numa gruta inundada e foi lá que eu vi ele. Ele veio me encontrar, a voz dele ecoou pela escuridão e senti que ele você carrega trevas no coração, se não se livrar delas, elas destruiu sua alma. Elas destruem sua alma.
Kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no meaning if the eye had no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a band poisons your heart. The echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but they were definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like only Wolverine.
Que isso?
They couldn't stop me, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. Couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle.
Meu irmão.
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. Where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
Ganhei habilidade nova, deixa eu ver. Caçador de cabeças, mais concentração de tiros na cabeça, acerte alguns tiros na cabeça para se concentrar mais tá. Granadeiro, arremesse a dinamite e atire nelas. Isso aqui é bom, hein?
Determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo jumbo.
Eu não corri. Eu não corri e ainda pulei mais cedo.
I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo is right. Making this all up as you go.
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me.
Caraca, olha esse jogo, mano.
There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from all around. Dozens? Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
Teve um que correu aqui, hein? Toma na cabeça.
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me.
Eu preciso de uma arma que tenha mais munição, ou pelo menos uma arma que atire mais rápido.
And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch let me right into it. Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot.
Ah, não, que isso?
In the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
Caraca. Detenha o lobo. Meu irmão.
I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
Ixi, o bicho é sinistro, velho.
Never did find him.
É, nunca achei ele. Eu também não consegui a maldita recompensa. Caraca. É, às vezes não dá certo, né?
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable,
Muito louco, ele tá num
depending
contexto.
upon your point of view.
Acho que não
Like
dá.
how those dime novels
Contando
make
essa
you out to
história,
be
tá ligado?
something you're not.
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
A arte desse jogo é animal, cara.
Did
Que da
they
hora.
exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
É um bagulho
Well,
muito
I was there
quadrinho,
in
tá
the
ligado?
flesh, boy, so I saw what
E o jogo
happened
também, o gráfico do
firsthand.
jogo também é tipo, é bem quadrinho também. É bem cartoon. Dalton, como é o
Those
nome?
Daltons were lawmen once, before they all
até o
went
Coffee
bad,
Valley.
robbing banks and trains clear across the
Irmãos
territory.
Dalton, assim.
Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right.
Tá, Irmãos Dalton. Me chama de caçador de recompensas. Não é o nome da próxima missão. Lobo Cinzento. O curandeiro Apache apareceu. Quando uma dinamite cai perto dos seus pés, você pode arremessá-la de volta. Tá.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. The story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown. The boys grew up in Coffeeville, so everybody knew them. The bank teller tricked them, telling them the time lock on the safe wouldn't open till 9:30. Well, that gave the locals enough time to prepare an ambush for those sons of bitches. Huh?
Agora aqui seria bom usar. Ah, não, essa aqui é melhor. Pera aí, recarrega. Boa. Os irmãos pagaram caro pela estupidez deles, mas todos sabiam que eles mereciam isso.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all,
Primeiro de tudo, era plano meio-dia. Era pleno meio-dia. Da hora. Cada um contando uma versão da história.
Marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
Pera aí, eu subi de nível, mano. Vamos, né? Generoso. Divide dinamites em pleno ar. Faça chover fogo ao apertar G. Você divide sua dinamite em 3. Boa.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. You went in there alone to confront those criminals.
Abriu uma escadita aqui.
Shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Moleque alto.
You paid him no mind.
Mano, eu quase nunca usei a 12, né? A 12 não é muito boa também.
He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there.
Torre de água. Surpreenda os irmãos Dalton entrando pelo telhado.
Laughing at danger as he did.
Bora lá.
It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country. Men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the island.
Nossa, a lapada é muito grande, mano.
Came away victorious,
Capture os
taking down
irmãos.
those thieving Daltons. His name was Silas Graves.
Seu nome era Silas Graves.
Finally
E
settled.
quando a poeira
He
baixa,
was the
ele
last
era
man
o único
standing.
sobrevivente. Olha aí, sinistro, hein?
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
Desculpa, garoto, não sei o que, não sei o que.
It was early evening, not high noon.
Vá até o
Blew up a
banco
safe.
e impeça.
We're all set to hightail it out of there. I was late to the party and Coffeeville was already up in arms. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Os irmãos Dalton. Caraca. Eu vou
I've been
enfrentar.
tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeeville.
Merda. Tomando tiro Costa. Vagar. Escutando barulho de passos.
Those friends came after me like wild dogs. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. The problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. They were shooting at the Browns.
Nossa, tentei pré-fire ali, não deu nada.
Which wasn't any surprise.
Nossa.
And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths. Pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in coffee like that. But that's just the way life is sometimes.
Entrar na casa agora.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up.
Never give up.
Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least two of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap didn't work.
Caraca. E agora? Tá, eu acho, mano, que tem que... Caramba, os caras são espertos, hein?
It was him, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down. He was determined to protect his brother. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
Emmett Dalton. Merda. Pronto. Mas o Emmett Dalton foi o único que sobreviveu ao roubo de cofre. Dizem que ele levou 23 tiros. Bem, Doing, você acha que todos... Caraca. Então 2 dos irmãos morreram. Eram 3, né? Então 2 morreram no confronto lá. Caçador de recompensas ainda é meu nome. Peraí, será mesmo? Isso agora eu não sei também, né? Vamos lá. Levei alguns dias para encontrar os Daltons. Em algum lugar. Encontre os Daltons na cidade Alagal. Que doideira. Vamos lá. Mano, o jogo tá muito bonito, velho.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
Encontre os Daltons na cidade alagada.
It was autumn. The
Como
maple
era
trees were in full
uma
bloom,
luta.
red as blood.
Neblina,
The rains that
enquanto
year were
prejudicam
torrential,
sua orientação,
so the whole
orientada
area
de
was
direção.
flooded.
Tá.
The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Colecionávelzinho. Black Bart. Charles E. Bowles, mais conhecido como Black Bart. Sem dúvidas está entre os ladrões de diligências mais incomuns do Velho Oeste. Será que esses caras eram reais? Vamos andando aqui, já que a nossa bússola não tá funcionando.
Except for some son of bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm, so I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the question professor and a few of their friends. The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Cidade Alagada, ótimo nome. Que arma que eu tô? Ah, tá. Merda. Filho da mãe, cara.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
Os caras correndo com...
But luckily, a barn materialized as it right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view, but just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious character running through the bushes. Of course, I followed him. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon
Eu acho que é pra cá que tem que ir. Tô vendo a bandeirinha ali.
Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Cara, já
Indians
tava dormindo
surrounded
já.
me from all sides.
Caraca.
I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention.
Não era uma parte.
Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See,
Peraí
Steve?
que eu subi de nível.
Dwight's paying attention.
Carrasco, execute os inimigos próximos. Acerte tiros na cabeça sem mirar. Sem mirar. Caçador de cabeças, tá.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. You can breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Merda. Explodi a granada em cima de mim. Mas que merda.
Bounty hunters!
Tá, fica tranquilo. Ai, ó. Recarrega, recarrega. Caraca, eu não vi esse maluco não.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Será que é pra cá?
And that's when I saw it. A
É, eu acho que
goddamn
é o maldito barco a vapor.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Barco a
Yeah,
vapor.
Steve,
Isso
this
mesmo,
wasn't much more than a
Steve.
wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Yes,
Caraca.
it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw
Vá
some
até o
familiar
barco e pegue
faces.
Dalton. Último irmão. Mano, os caras apareceram do nada.
They're waiting on me.
Tem uma pepita por perto. Tá, vambora, vambora. Tem uma pepita por perto.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do
Espingardeiro.
it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Caraca, esse barco aqui tá, mano, sim. É, mano, esse barco aqui tá cabuloso, velho. Você é louco. Opa.
Right about then, much to my
Mas
relief,
por sorte, finalmente os vigilantes
their
apareceram.
leader motioned at a
O líder
cabin in
deles
the middle of the
apontou
top deck,
uma
pointing me directly
para uma
at the
cabine
Daltons.
no convés
I finally had
superior.
him, after months of dogged pursuit. Turned out they had me.
Oxi. Caraca, fui tapeado.
The Daltons had played me like
O
a
Dalton
fiddle.
me fizeram um
The
jogo.
vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a ritual. It was a goddamn ocean liner.
Oh yeah, but I was in a fight.
Merda.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that content is unsafe.
oh God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Breeze?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. Somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was smoking up smoking, pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Caraca, arma não.
I'm glad weren't about to come at me one at a time.
Caraca, munição
They
infinita,
were in
bicho.
this together.
Olho tudo vê. Vê,
Two
irmão.
brothers side by side, determined to
Caraca,
take me
mentira.
down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Caraca, morreu os três. Sem honra, mano. Mas quem atira primeiro? É esse aqui? Eu acho que quem atira primeiro é esse, hein?
They got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his
Ah,
wounds.
mano, aqui não tem honra não, mano. O bagulho é doido.
Paroled 14
Ele
years
tinha sido
later.
solto
He
depois
moved
de
to
14
California,
anos,
sold real
se muda
estate,
para
and lived off the
Califórnia,
legend
se
of that
torna
fateful day.
vendedor, blá blá
A
blá,
tragic death
e da morte
of his
trágica
two brothers.
dos dois irmãos. Caraca, matei logo os dois de primeira. De primeira não, né?
My own brothers died
Os
tragically
irmãos
as well.
também
truth be
morreram de
told.
forma trágica, para dizer. Episódio 7. The Wind But Juarez,
It was
1868.
1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant,
Era o
and
Johnny
another
Ringo,
asshole
Roscoe
named
Bob
Jim.
Bryant
They wanted their money back
outro
and
idiota
everything else
chamado
we
Jim.
had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them.
Caraca.
Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Aparentemente tem mais 3 aí que a gente precisa passar ali e o chumbo. O nada espetacular, roubo ao trem. O nada espetacular, roubo ao trem. Beleza.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana.
Mano, que jogo
Among
bonito,
them was
velho.
the
Cê é louco.
Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
You were part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
Você fez
No,
parte
boy.
daqueles...
A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer.
Caraca.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Cê é louco, o trem se despedaçou todo, mano. O trem caiu lá embaixo. Munição.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Opa,
I
ouço
made my way
ruídos.
off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Ó, o cavalinho.
Into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward
Caraca.
past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, anywhere I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Toma. Agache.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could. It was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Toma. Caraca, explodiu foi tudo aqui, velho. Não sobrou nada. Ó, uma pepita. Pepita não, né? Segredo encontrado.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
Like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about. Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Man. Esse é um dos irmãos. Joey Lefton, Jeff Carr e Tim Killer. O grande grupo versus bando selvagem. Opa. Parece ser como.
From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual. As it happened, did they?
Vá atrás do bando selvagem.
Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
George Flat.
Fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
E aí, mano? É. Caraca, ainda errei. Ah, mano, eu esqueci esse bagulho de honra, mano, na moral.
Same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
South America.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about it.
1h30 para o inferno. Caraca. Aumente sua resistência desbloqueando a habilidade Armadura de Guerreiro. Você já abriu alguma habilidade pra mim? Não, ainda não.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail. Because I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him. Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado. Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with the warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty.
Logo na estratégia, mano. Matei logo.
Whereabouts.
Que tava lá em cima, aquele ali que é o danado. A examinar. Eu achei um mapa com o plano deles. Dessa vez estava tramando explodir uma grande ponte ferroviária. Caraca.
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
Eu acho que eu vou ter que desarmar, né? De manhã, na manhã seguinte, fora da... Impeça que o bando destrua a ponte.
Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was gonna rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. And I made it a point to remove any dynamite that I came across. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Ganhou uma habilidade. Carrasco, execute os inimigos próximos a 7 tiros na cabeça. Mira estável. Deixa isso aqui pra pistola.
Recruits to bolster their ranks, but the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Cara, esse maluco quase tomou na cara.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
Desarme os explosivos da ponte ferroviária.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Cara, com essa paisagem. Ah, que maneiro.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually, there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear. That way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Vamos lá, vamos continuar. Mais uma corrida e pular. Mano, essa missão aqui tá bem legal, velho. Ué. Nossa, eu voltei. Caraca, perderam.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
Caraca, eu tenho que...
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks.
E agora? Pô, não deu pra ver, velho.
I hope you understand how badly my adventure might have ended had I not been as careful as hell. I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge.
Well, it was a teaching me.
É, apareceu uma parte aqui na parte de cima, uma parte na parte de cima, boa.
But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
Nossa, quase que eu caio ali, hein? Quase que eu caio. Ai, caramba.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Caraca. Olha aí. Kid Guri. Kid Guri. Boa, muito... Esse nome é muito bom, véio. Vamos lá, vamos ver de qual era esse cara. Eu tenho 5 granadas.
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me. Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. That's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Toma. O maluco sobreviveu, velho. Isso é louco. O maluco se afastou, velho. Caraca. Os 12 morreram, beleza.
Fast as he was.
Sem piedade, mano. É desonrado mesmo, tô nem aí.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of
Você tem um braço
Roscoe Bob
dele.
Bryant. He shouted at me.
Mais um.
Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch's Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him.
Toma.
Those were his last words.
Caraca, faltou só mais um pouquinho pra me subir de nível.